Hi guys, this is Harsh from Make a lOBSTER, your own channel for visual compositing, visual effects, and motion graphics. So let's jump right into After Effects. What is After Effects? After Effects is just a tool for doing two things mainly: compositing and motion graphics. Compositing and visual effects are kind of interchangeable terms. Let me show you an example of motion graphics. So when you want to make some title sequences like a lyrics video, some advertisement for a product, or some slideshow, or anything that does not contain a real footage, and you want to make everything from scratch, that's pretty much motion graphics. Have you seen TED videos? They are all motion graphics. Now, visual effects or compositing. Let me show you an example. If we have a footage shot from a camera and we want to enhance the footage or we want to add elements to it, then it's called compositing or visual effects. The whole Hollywood is based on visual effects industry. In real steel, when we see two robots fighting, it's all compositing. Now, After Effects. What's the role of After Effects in this? So, After Effects is a tool used to put the things together in one sentence. Okay. In my opinion, the best way to learn a tool is to use it. So, let's jump right into After Effects and make this simple animation. Nothing fancy, nothing complex, just a simple title. Okay, let's open up our After Effects. So we have our new project, and in this we have to create a new composition. A composition is going to be a final output which we can render into a video. So from here we can create a new composition. We'll name it simple title. You can change the width and the height from this. You can control the frame rate, and we'll make this 5 second long. We'll make this 5 second long, and background color will be white. Okay, so now we have our composition simple title. It's also going to show up here in the project panel. Here all the files will be displayed that you're using in the project. Now this is your timeline and this is your viewer. You can zoom in, zoom out. Let's take a look to the video. We see that this make A is going in other way and this lobster is going different. There has to be two different effects on these two different text layers. So we have to create two different text layers. Okay. Make a and layer new text. Lobster. Now that we have two different text layers, we can put an effect. Now, can you see that in make a every letter is rotating on its own axis. So now that we have our two text layers, we want to put an effect on this make a text layer to rotate every letter in, I think it's y direction. So in make a, if we look at this, the properties of this layer, we see rotation. And if we do this rotation, it just rotates in this. Because it's a 2D layer, we won't be able to do that. So now we'll go to animation, animate text, enable per character 3D. It will convert each letter into its own 3D object. So you can do rotation on each axis. Let me show you. So we have these boxes around each letter in the word, each letter in the text here. So if I open a rotation property, you can open up the rotation property, scale property by pressing R, S. Opacity is opened by T. These are the shortcuts you can use. If you want to open another property, you can press Shift S. You get scale with the opacity. And if you want to rotation also, you can press Shift R. By pressing Shift, you can add the properties you want to see. So if you only press R, we get this XYZ rotation. And if we rotate it in Y direction, it won't work like this. This won't work because we have enabled the per character 3D from the animation panel, and we are rotating this object from XYZ direction. So these rotations are will be the complete object's rotation. If we want to change the individual properties of each character, then we have to do animate text. We can do position, scale, rotation. So what we want to do is rotate each character on its own axis. So we choose rotation. Now we get an animator which will act on each character. And if we do this, you can see that we get a desired result. So let's do this 90-degree. So what we want to do is, starting from 90-degree, we want to rotate each character into its original position. Now here comes animation. Animation is handled pretty well in After Effects. It's pretty simple. You can see stopwatch in pretty much every property. So if we press this stopwatch, what we get is this yellow diamond. Now this diamond is a keyframe. It's nothing else but a snapshot of the rotation property of this text layer. So at 0 second, we take a snapshot of the rotation at 90 degrees. I say 5 seconds, we want this rotation to be 0 degrees. So we have taken two snapshots at these two time intervals. And what After Effects will do is interpolate it with all the required data. So I think this make a layer is complete. Now let's jump to the lobster layer. Let's take a look on the video what we want to make. Starting from a pretty random character, we want to animate this to come to the original text. Now there's an effect in this, but for that also we have to enable the per character 3D. So now that we have enabled the per character 3D and each character has been enclosed in a box of its own, now we'll go to animation, text, and character offset. Now what it will do, it will change the distance of the character from the original text. And if you want pretty random stuff, we'll choose full Unicode. In this we'll get different characters, different kind of characters. And if you want to change the alignment of the text to adjust canning, we'll get a center and we won't get any overlapping texts. So now what we'll do, we have to animate this property from its this value 75 to its original value, that is 0. If we put it 0, we get our normal text back. So we have to animate this starting from 77 to, we will put a keyframe here, and after 5 seconds we put a keyframe of value 0. So now After Effects does the same thing, and we get our animation. That's pretty much it. So let me tell you a few things about timeline. This is your timeline. You can zoom in, zoom out in this, and if you collapse all the properties, you want to see the animated properties of the layers, then you select the layer and press U. You get only the property which has been animated or keyframed in the timeline. So now that we have our effect and our desired result in the timeline, what we want to do is create a video of it. So what we want to do is render this composition sample title into a movie which we can watch in a movie player. 1 second. The length of the composition is, I think I put it 5 seconds. We'll see composition settings, and what we see is 50 seconds. We will change that. We'll put it 5 seconds there. For rendering, we'll go to composition, add to render queue. Now in this we have many options to choose from, like AVI, QuickTime, and JPEG sequences. In this we'll get a series of images. So we don't want any audio output, so we set it to off and press OK. We'll change the file name to sample simple title QuickTime movie, save it, and start rendering it. So now we have our final output as sample title. Let's see what we've got. So that's it, guys. You have your title. I hope you've learned something. If you have any suggestions, any problems, any questions, just post them in the comment section. And thank you, guys. You are awesome.